I want to start with Texas A&M Notre Dame. And I don't have takeaways. I just want to go.
Ugh.
I just want to talk games. I want to get in Tyler Hildenbrandt emotion. Texas A&M basically wins at the gun. Notre Dame had a few seconds to try to make something happen. The final score is 41-40. I think there's going to be a lion's share of the blame placed on Tyler Buckner unfairly. It is a big moment that he messed up. There were a lot of big moments in this game. The game-winning pass from Marcel Reed to, oh god, I forget his name. He was like a blocking tight end. It was his only catch of the night.
Yeah.
Um, well, you can fact check me on his name. It starts with a B, I believe. His last name. Um, Notre Dame's defensive line got tackled by Texas A&M's offensive line, which I've perused the rule book. Seems not allowed, but if it's not called, it's not a penalty. And so here we are. Notre Dame goes down 41-40 in a top 25 matchup at home to Texas A&M, and Mario Craver may still be running.
Yeah, Mario Craver had an enormous game.
Yeah, I got that totally wrong, by the way. Hand up right here. I thought Texas A&M was going to struggle with some smaller receivers to out physical Notre Dame secondary, and those dudes were running loose,
They
especially
were.
in that first half
They
when
were.
they
There were a lot
scored.
of big plays in this game, and there
Yes.
was certainly more offense than I think we saw coming. Nate Boerkircher, I believe, is the name that you're looking for.
Okay.
The blocking tight end who caught the game-winning touchdown pass with about 13 seconds left from Marcel Reed. A really nice game-winning drive led by Marcel Reed and assisted by some penalties or assisted by some non-calls, I guess, in some cases. But
Yep.
nonetheless, we got to this point through just an incredible series of events down the stretch, Dan. I mean, it culminated sort of with Tyler Buckner fumbling the snap on the go-ahead touchdown, or I should say after the go-ahead touchdown,
On
the
the extra
ensuing
point.
extra
Yeah.
point, and then Texas A&M was able to drive the field relatively quickly, got some big plays, got down there, scored with 13 seconds left, kicked the extra point. They eventually get the dub 41-40. I am struck by how much offense there was in this game. Honestly, it was completely counter to what I think you and I expected coming in, and we saw flashes really from both sides. Marcel Reed, I thought had a really good game. Was never gonna be like the world's most efficient passer, but that's sort of not his game. He's always a threat to run.
Yeah.
He was able to deliver the ball on time when it mattered to receivers who mattered, who were running open in space. You mentioned Craver. Craver had a monster game for Texas A&M. And as I'm sitting here watching this as a Notre Dame fan, I'm wondering, where's the vaunted secondary? Where's the secondary? Oh, is Christian Gray getting burnt again? Feels like that's been a recurring theme dating back to some moments last season. The Notre Dame defense is not what it was a year ago. They're still working in some new pieces. They are still kind of finding their way with a new defensive coordinator. And so it's going to be a very good defense, I think, by the time all is said and done, but it's not there yet. And Texas A&M, when you've got a line like A&M does, when you've got a stable of running backs like A&M does, and when you've got a quarterback who is that big of a threat, it's going to put a defense on
Just
skates.
a playmaker. He's just a playmaker. Yeah.
Absolutely a playmaker. I mean, he finished, Marcel Reed did, with 360 passing yards in this football game, which is not something either you or I had on the bingo card. There's just no
No.
way. I expected that they would come in here and try to assert their dominance on the ground, which to some extent they were able to do in key spots with like Le'Veon Moss. He had 3 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, they only rushed for a buck 28, but I did not expect the success through the air that we ended up seeing from Texas A&M.
No, well, it's nice that, an SEC team from Texas has a good quarterback, so that's cool.
They might be the only one, man.
Hey, who
They might be
knows?
the only one.
Long season.
So, I mean, granted, A&M was a bit mistake prone. They committed 13 penalties in this football game. I mean, they also had a turnover. It was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but when you go into hostile territory, you got to find a way to win. And Texas A&M, I really admire their stick-to-itiveness down the stretch because there were multiple back-breaking calls that went against them, notably
Sure.
the one on that kickoff return right after Notre Dame went
The
ahead
hold, yeah.
late in the game. And they kept their chins up. They kept fighting. They found a way to get down the other end of the field and score with 13 seconds left. So I think a lot of credit goes to Marcel Reed and certainly Mike
And
Elko
didn't
for
have a
kind
ton of
of
time there. It was under 2 minutes is when that drive started, way back
no,
in their own territory, yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can only do that if you've got a strong culture. And I give Mike Elko a ton of credit for going to Notre Dame and getting the revenge after they lost at home last season. So, you
By the
know,
way, yeah, sorry, continue. Finish your thought.
I mean, it's disappointing on the Notre Dame side. I could probably talk to I'm blue in the face on the Notre Dame side, but I think credit where it's due. Texas A&M had their backs against the wall and they found a way to get it done with virtually no time left. So credit to them. I like them coming into the year. I didn't want them to win this game, but I think it sort of underscores the point that this is a team that you should not take lightly, especially since it seems like so much of college football is up in the air.
So Texas A&M now has a signature out of conference win, especially if things get murky at or near the top of the SEC or at large playoff stuff. If we're in that line of thinking, or just in a vacuum, Texas A&M has one of the best, if not the best, out of conference victories this year, going to Notre Dame. And Notre Dame, if we think they're vaguely in the neighborhood where we thought they were going to be when we were talking about them in August, the USC game looks like a playoff play-in, eliminator for Notre Dame as they start the season 0-2. Hard to fathom a universe in which a 9-3 Notre Dame gets into the college football playoff, but I'm ahead of my skis here. I'm over my skis here. Notre Dame needs to finish these games
Yeah.
because they're putting themselves in position to do so and just not getting it done. So there you go.
Now
41-40 A&M.
that's it and that's all. And look, I mean, I think it's apparent watching CJ Carr that he's the real deal.
Seems
CJ
to be.
Carr is very calm in the pocket. He is still green though. He still makes some curious decisions, still has that different relationship with intentional grounding or near intentional grounding than most quarterbacks around college football, still trying to make a play when it's clear that there is no play to be made.
Right.
He will get better. And clearly what we have seen just in the first two games for Notre Dame this year, I think, is leaps and bounds better in terms of downfield passing than we saw last season, maybe even in the last couple seasons. Right. So
Agreed.
I'm really encouraged by what we see out of him. I like the fact that they got Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price a lot more involved. I don't love the Wildcat stuff that they were doing incessantly in this game,
I
but
mean, they got a big fourth down conversion
they
out of that.
did. To
Yeah.
their credit, they did. I like the fact that they turned back over to turned the ball back over to their better players in this game and didn't kind of go with the RPO approach that they did against Miami. But it may just be that Notre Dame is going to be this kind of team that gives up more points than we saw a year ago.
Yep.
That isn't quite as clutch as they were a year ago. Could end up going 9-3, maybe even 8-4 by the time all is said and done. A very good team at a bare minimum. Remains to be seen if they can improve, as you said, if they can finish games, they can take that next step. It's tough, I think, if you're ND to get into the playoff with 2 losses, but there is obviously a lot of season in front of them.